Hi, Steve Slack here, and welcome to an update on where we're getting on with the role-playing game, which I posted on the forum a few weeks ago. Joshua has already created an XP section that we're looking at importing into the RPG game. I myself have a little bit of a problem. As you remember, last time we were here, I was talking about getting some of the spells working, and I'll show you how far I've got on the RPG game, but I do have some news which might be quite frustrating for Josh particularly. But here we go. So we've got our character. He still does all the things he could do before, like walking forwards, turning and walking in a different direction. It's not sorted out the scrolling yet, but as you can see, that looks okay. Could perhaps do with a graphic artist who's better at doing animation than me, because I've seen better than this. From the character screen, I don't know how much of this we had last time, but we've got the this is in effect what our character's wearing, and from these we'll have little boxes coming off saying this helmet's special. It's got, you know, colour visor, and it's +6 death to all slimy individuals, sort of thing. We've got his money there now, and obviously these are his backpack slots, which we're going to be able to put icons in at a later time. Also, we have the skills book now. This is the spell book. You can see we've got the icons on there, but I've not really done what I intended to do with those yet. Basically, the elemental ones are going to be fire and water, and they're going to build up into a crescendo type spell. And then we're going to be able to click into the different types of spells: spiritual for healing, chaotic for shadow magic, and elemental for the magic that we've got for fireballs and stuff. And the skill tree. I've got one tab for trade, which is basically a trade that you learn, which could be more armor making or something like that. One tab for ranged, another tab for melee. Within the range and the melee, there'd be an attack and defense tree, and we'll put little bits of skills in that you can use on that at a later time. That was the plan anyway. The other thing is Josh is working on the XP and leveling system, and I'd expect to be able to include that in a similar sort of interface, perhaps using the same sort of top label, and having a book type thing. So obviously on one side you'd have level and all the different things about your character and the description and stuff, and then the other side probably skill levels, where you can spend skill points on developing various skills to improve your character. So I've sort of looked at that now. If we go back to the main screen, one of the things that I said I was going to work on was some magic spells. The first one, of course, has to be a fireball, which fires now, no sound yet. And then I have a ring of ice, which will do ice damage, a ring of chaos or shadow, which will just do general damage, and then a ring of fire that will fire damage. And that's all that I'd done extra, because what I said was I'm going to go on and do the Pseudo 3D for the dungeons. The idea being that this dude walks around the landscape, and he finds a hole in the ground, he goes into it, and he enters into a dungeon. I've started to think about what we're doing with that, so if you just hold on a second, I'll switch. Hello. Sorry about that. Okay, so as you can see, things look a little bit different now. This was going to be the 3D dungeon, which it does its job quite well, but what I'm actually thinking is that we could do the whole thing like this. So I'm going to green flag it to start with to clear everything off. You see we're in a position. I'm just going to make it full screen so it looks nicer on full screen. Okay, so we can turn around, and as you can see, it redraws our current location. We're in a corner. If we press the M key, you can see we're in a map, and it shows us which direction we're facing in that on that map. So if we come away from that and turn to the right and walk along here, you'll see that our quite like this actually. Some work still to be done on the graphics, I must admit that, but you can sort of see where I'm going with this. So I'm just going to walk around the whole dungeon for a second, just to give you an idea. Oops, walking into walls, that's not a good idea. I'm just moving around with the arrow keys at the moment. And there we are, that should have all of our screen done. So if we go to map, that's our little map. Now as you can see, these dark areas, these two anyway, are for doors, which I've got working but not yet installed in the map part. So I'm just going to very quickly show you how the doors work. If we come out of this mode, and basically I need to go to my door sprite, and if you see on the door, I actually have, in the costumes, I have golden doors as well as portcullis doors at the moment. I can just show this door. This is the door in its closest position. You'll see that it fits quite nicely in the area, and I also have developed a switch as well, which fits quite nicely at the side of it. So that looks quite nice. I'm very pleased with that, to be honest with you. What I'm also pleased with is that I've been able to make this work, which is if I click on that, the door will open, and if I click on it again, the door will close. Very good, I must say. And I'm just saying that because, well, I think it's very good. So obviously we're moving along in that genre now. One thing, if we look at it now, you'll see that switch wherever we go follows us, because it's not part of the map, it's just superimposed. And that sort of gives away how we're doing the whole thing. All we're doing is we're just putting pieces of information, pieces of map in front of the screen, and just basically excluding the others that you can't see. So if I just remove that by hiding it like so, and there we have it. So if you look at our maps now, you'll see that we have a nice 10 by 10 map, 2 doors on it. That's somewhere where I haven't walked yet, probably. I'll just check we've not got a problem with that actually. So if we go along here like this, turn, walk down there, and now look at the map. You'll see we've got down to here. Look, and that bit that was black is now filled in with map details. Excuse me. So my thoughts are now is along the lines of actually doing the whole thing in this pseudo 3D manner. Bear with me a second, I'll show you how far I've got on the basic development for that. Okay, welcome back. Very briefly, I have these walls. I have now, this is a module called walls. It can be imported into any of the games that we do, and it has a set of walls. So for example, if I show this wall, you see the wall in front of you. I can show this wall, it shows a wall at the side. I can show this wall, and it shows the wall off in the distance there, look. So I've got the whole set of walls. One of the things that I've been working on that I quite like is the ability to go into, obviously it's not done as full code yet, but I can for instance set the wall to BG and run that, and it brings in should bring in a different set of walls, because it should be GB, believe it or not. So if we run GB, you'll see that we've got Germany black walls, they're called, and it switches all the walls in the actual set. I also have, we could have TR. This is going to be for the outdoors. It has a different background, which I don't have coming on it, but I have it in the background section. So you see, you've actually got trees, and you've got the background as well. This is supposed to be a rainy background, so it's all rain spattered, etc. There's also another background there, which is for, if we go back to the stage and put in very quickly TW, this is actually for interiors. So you see you get the inside of a hall as well, sort of thing. So that's where I am with that at the moment. The idea being that I might change the whole thing to run on that. For the time being, I'm not doing any work on the RPG, but watch this space and I'll get back to you when I've got more information. And sorry Josh.